Hello, amazing Hope family. A new face on fueling your faith. Yes, Mark is on holiday for the next 2 weeks, so now it's my privilege to bring you something just to encourage you, something to strengthen you in your faith. I'm going to be reading Matthew chapter 8, starting at verse 6, the story of the centurion's servant who was paralyzed and was gloriously healed by Jesus. This is how the story reads. When Jesus had entered Capernaum, a centurion came to him asking for help. Lord, he said, my servant lies at home paralyzed, suffering terribly. Jesus said to him, shall I come and heal him? The centurion replied, Lord, I do not deserve to have you come under my roof, but just say the word, and my servant will be healed. For I myself am a man under authority, with soldiers under me. I tell this one, go, and he goes, and that one, come, and he comes. I say to my servant, do this, and he does it. When Jesus heard this, he was amazed, and said to those following him, truly I tell you, I have not found anyone in Israel with such great faith. Verse 13. Then Jesus said to the centurion, go, let it be done just as you believed it would. And his servant was healed at that very moment. That's the first story we read about in the Gospel of Matthew that took place in a place called Capernaum. Let me just list to you what Matthew writes about in the next 2 chapters about the miracles that take place in and around Capernaum. Well, we start off with the centurion's servant who's paralyzed being healed. Peter's mother-in-law, Capernaum was the home of Peter. His mother-in-law has a fever and she is healed of that fever. Many demon-possessed are set free. He calms a storm on the shores of Capernaum. A paralyzed man is lowered through the roof and he is healed and his sins are forgiven. Matthew, a tax collector, becomes a convert and throws a party for these other tax collector friends who come under the influence of the gospel. Jairus' daughter is brought back to life. A woman with the issue of blood touches the hem of Jesus' garment and is healed. And a blind man and a mute man are both gloriously healed, with one seeing and the other speaking. And all that takes place in a place called Capernaum. I was talking to a dear friend recently who had been to Capernaum not too long ago. And he said this, he said he sat there, he was looking at the foundations of the synagogue where Jesus probably made that great declaration that we find in Luke 4, that he came to set prisoners free. And he made this amazing discovery that at the time of Jesus, Capernaum would have been a town, a population of just 1,500 people. That's staggering, that so much would take place in what seems such an insignificant place with so few people. And that got me thinking, why would the God of the universe bother to visit such an insignificant place and visit so few people? Why would he make that the center of his operation? You know, I think it says something like this, that however insignificant our needs might appear, however small they might appear, they're never too small for God. That he is concerned about the things that bother us. And wherever we are, wherever we live, however insignificant a place that might be, it's just the sort of place that Jesus would visit and display the wonders of his kingdom rule through his supernatural acts. Wow, there is nothing too small for Jesus, and there's no place that he would not come and manifest his power in, just like he did in Capernaum. Secondly, when I talk about advancing the kingdom, one of our great values is advancing the kingdom. People can ask me, how much of heaven can we expect on this earth in our day? And I think now I would answer like this. Well, just take Capernaum as an example. All those miracles took place in a small hamlet with just 1,500 people in it. So we should expect that every 1,500 people in Norfolk should experience that measure of the kingdom of God at least. It happened in the past. It can happen now. Our expectation should be growing because God's presence was so powerful in what seems to be a very small place. His kingdom, rule and reign is constantly on the advance, and it's our privilege to bring that about as co-laborers with him. And then finally, this whole story of the miracles of Capernaum begins with the centurion and his sick servant. And there are two keys in that story that I think are keys to releasing a whole flow of the miraculous kingdom presence. And it's this. It's faith and an understanding of delegated authority. See, the more we trust in God, the more we will see. It's not about the level of our faith, because you said you can have faith the size of a mustard seed. It's all about who we have faith in and his power. We have a God who has made all things and can make all things right. And if we have just a little bit of faith in him, we will see extraordinary things like the people of Capernaum did. And then this delegated authority. Jesus said this, all authority has been given to me on earth and in heaven. Now go and make disciples, because my authority is going to be with you. We carry such extraordinary authority that when we say go, it goes. And when we say come, it comes. God has given us dominion, ability to bring God's rule and reign here on earth. And we should be able to see increasing places reflecting what happened in Capernaum happening today. So may God strengthen your faith, and may he give you confidence in the authority that he has given you. May God richly bless you.